Hello, my name is George Hutton, and you are listening to the Mind Persuasion Podcast. Today, we'll be covering an introduction to conversational and covert hypnosis. Whether you're talking to friends, romantic, or business partners, these language patterns will allow you to easily and covertly slip your ideas into their mind so that they think they are their own. These language patterns were largely reverse engineered from Dr. Milton Erickson and bear his name, the Milton Model. Dr. Erickson was a hypnotherapist as well as a physician. However, he noticed that even when people came into his office knowing they were going to be hypnotized, they still had a lot of conscious resistance. One thing about people is that we don't like giving up our freedom, even if it means overcoming a lifelong problem like smoking or drinking or overeating. Because of this, Dr. Erickson developed, through many years of trial and error, an incredibly powerful set of linguistic tools that he used to help people solve their problems in as little as 1 or 2 sessions. Keep in mind that then, as now, people were accustomed to visit a therapist for many weeks, months, or even years to talk out their problems in hopes of getting some resolution. Dr. Erickson became famous for his brief therapy that cured patients of a host of problems through comfortable, relaxed conversation. Consider this. These patterns that you are about to learn have been used to persuade people to forever release their fears, overcome their phobias, and develop incredible self-confidence and self-assurance. Do you think that you could use these same skills in a way that's helpful for you? One of the reasons these patterns are so incredibly effective is they are artfully vague, meaning that when you leave a bit of vagueness in the communication in specific places, the listener or reader will fill in the blanks with their own information. This means that not only will you be able to quickly and easily develop some incredibly deep levels of rapport with these patterns, but you'll also get little, if any, resistance. Why is this? Because as they fill in the blanks with their own information, they'll be supporting your ideas with their own content, so they'll believe it's them coming up with the ideas and not you who is suggesting them. Imagine a car salesman. Most are pushy and don't know when to quit. Most salesmen are taught to recite an endless list of features and benefits, hoping to hit a couple of hot buttons on the poor customer. This is very disrespectful, manipulative, and rude. No wonder that people head for the hills when they are approached by a salesman. Even people who walk onto a car lot with a pocket full of cash and a solid intention of buying a car quickly cringe when they see a salesman approach. On the other hand, when you use these patterns, it seems like you are just shooting the breeze. And while you are shooting the breeze, your target will suddenly get the idea that they'd like to do whatever you want them to. From their perspective, you, the persuader, were talking about a friend from college or something they can't quite remember when they suddenly had a strong urge to do whatever you wanted them to. This is the power of these patterns. This is a set of training ideas and exercises unlike any other. You can understand these patterns by listening, but to become fluent with them, you'll need to practice. Each and every pattern needs to be programmed into your brain on a deep level, so you'll be able to use them effortlessly and elegantly. It's kind of like learning to play the piano. If you try and consciously think where to put each finger and with how much pressure, it will be clumsy and frustrating. But if you practice enough, you'll soon be playing a beautiful song without much conscious thought. It's also like learning a foreign language. It's one thing to memorize vocabulary and verb conjugations, but using them conversationally takes a lot of practice. So give yourself plenty of time. Go through this course once to get an understanding, and then go through the patterns one at a time. Think of learning these as you would a martial art. You don't just go to a training seminar and become a black belt. Not only does it take a lot of practice to get there, but it takes a lot of practice to stay there. Now, this might seem a bit too much to swallow at first, but just imagine what you'll be achieving when you become skilled with these patterns. Instead of talking to people and hoping that they take your ideas to heart, you'll be able to talk to people socially in business situations and presentations and know that they'll take your ideas to heart. In order to help you create and maintain sufficient motivation to learn, practice, and get really good with these patterns, consider the following questions. When you think of using conversational hypnosis effectively, what areas of life come to mind? Considering those areas of life, what kinds of things will you be able to accomplish? When you accomplish those things, what will that get you? When you imagine yourself with the ability to covertly persuade anybody to do anything, how does that change how you think about your career? How does that change how you think about your social life? How does that change how you think about your love life? I'm George Hutton with Mind Persuasion. I look forward to speaking to you again soon.